welcome back to my channel. Thank you for watching and for subscribing. And if you're just visiting, please consider subscribing. So today I'm going to talk to you about fragrances that I love, but that unfortunately don't last. And I've mentioned this several times before that in general, fragrances don't last well on me. My skin seems to eat up fragrance, but there are some that are especially bad, and unfortunately some of them are really stunning fragrances, but they just don't last. So I have 10 of these types of fragrances to share with you today. Let's start with the two that I wish more than any others on this list would last longer because they are incredible fragrances. Both of them from Guerlain. One is Angelique Noir. This is a stunning green vanilla fragrance. It has angelica, it has vanilla, it has some other notes, but it's just a very gentle, elegant type of green vanilla. It is stunning, it is understated, but the lasting power is not great, and I so wish that this stunning scent would last longer. And the other one is from the same Guerlain collection, and this is Spirituous Double Vanille. This is another vanilla, but very different. This one is woody, boozy, smoky type of vanilla. It is so stunning, and I would say the lasting power is actually pretty much the same on both of these. On me, it is in the area of 4 hours, which is not terrible. These are not the worst performing fragrances on this list, but I definitely wish that they lasted longer than 4 hours. These are incredible fragrances, such masterpieces, and I still love them despite the performance not being great, but I really wish that especially the lasting power was better than the 4 hours that I get. Next, I have a fragrance that I absolutely love wearing in the summer. It is definitely one of my summer favorites, and it is from Hermes. It is Rhubarb Escarlate. Of course, as you can tell by the name, the fragrance is about rhubarb. We also have musk and red berries, and it's just such a refreshing, sparkly, slightly tart fragrance, but it's not too tart in my opinion. The berries bring a touch of sweetness here and kind of tone down the tartness from rhubarb. I'm crazy about this fragrance. Absolutely love it in the summer. Again, you know, the lasting power is not great. It is definitely sort of you expect it not to be great in a fragrance like this. It is a lighter type of fragrance, but I really wish that it lasted longer because, like I said, it is definitely one of my summer favorites. Next one is not a current love, I will be honest with you, but it's a fragrance that I loved for a very long time in the past, and I keep it in my collection because I have a strong feeling that my taste will change again and I will come back to this fragrance. But one of the reasons that it stopped being my favorite was definitely due to its poor performance. And I'm talking about wood sage and sea salt. You see that I've used up quite a bit of this bottle, and I've had a number of smaller bottles as well that I used up in the past. So again, this has wood sage and sea salt. There's also grapefruit, there is seaweed, and it smells exactly like the name suggests. I really enjoy the smell of this fragrance. It is definitely different, but performance has always been really bad on me. And I even have a body butter with the same smell, and if I use this fragrance on its own, that's really, I don't know, hour and a half at maximum on me. If I use it with a body butter, it extends it by a bit, so maybe I will get 3, maybe 3.5 hours out of it, which is still pretty bad. And I really believe that it was the poor performance that really kind of pushed me away from this fragrance. I stopped using it because it just like a couple hours and I can't smell it. So it's almost like, well, what's the point of applying this fragrance? But like I said, this used to be a love of mine for quite a long time. The other fragrance, or rather two fragrances that I love and used so much in the past. Again, not so much in recent times, but previously I used a ton. These are both Chanel Chance, and I have the Eau Fraiche version here, but I also have Eau Tendre, and this really applies exactly the same to both of these. These are such beautiful scents. I love Chance line from Chanel, especially the two that I have. This one is kind of more fresh citrusy scent. The Eau Tendre is more sort of a fruity floral, but both of them are fresh, inoffensive, easygoing, great office scents, great signature scents. I've loved these fragrances for a very long time and have gone through multiple bottles of both, but performance was always an issue. They just don't last well on me. Even when I overspray, they still don't last well. Here I would say 3 to 4 hours probably, which you expect more from a fragrance, especially you would expect more from Chanel, which is relatively expensive. So unfortunately, I love both of these. I still do, even if I don't use them as much now, I still love both of these fragrances. I will continue to have them in my collection, but I really wish that performance on these was better. Next fragrance that I really love but that doesn't last long is from Van Cleef and Arpels. This is Orchidee Vanille, and in fact this also doesn't just apply to this fragrance, but it applies to the other one that I have from this line, which is Rose Rouge. Both of these have issues with longevity. So this one is vanilla fragrance. Of course, it has orchid, chocolate, vanilla, tonka, bitter almond. And it's kind of a dry bakery vanilla to me with a touch of almond and a touch of chocolate. It's a beautiful scent, but again, lasting power is really not good, as it is not good with the rest of this line, at least the ones that I have tried. Next fragrance that I have is kind of surprising because given the notes in it, I would expect it to last much better. This one is Tenue de Soiree from Annick Goutal. So some of the notes in here are patchouli, caramel, florals. There's even a note of leather in here, although I cannot smell it. To me, this is really patchouli with caramel. And typically fragrances that have patchouli and sort of have caramel, vanilla, they typically last longer, especially patchouli. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think often patchouli is added to fragrances to kind of boost up the longevity. And so based on the notes, I would really expect this one to last longer than it does. For example, another fragrance that is sort of similar to this one is Jimmy Choo, because that fragrance is also kind of a sweet patchouli fragrance. That one lasts really great on me. But this one unfortunately doesn't. Again, it's not the worst performing fragrance in this list, but it is also not great. This one I would say is probably in the area of 4, maybe 4.5 hours, which in my mind is not very long lasting, especially for this type of fragrance. Next one is Viva La Juicy Gold Couture. I can never remember the full name of this one, but basically this one has caramel, vanilla, and berries. And I am less surprised that this fragrance doesn't last long, but I really enjoy it, and I typically wear it more at home, and I think part of the reason that I wear it more at home is because the lasting power is really, really bad. Like, I don't know, it's a couple of hours on me, to be honest. And so I can't really wear it out because even if I overspray, it still doesn't last long. And I actually even have, I think I have a body cream with the same scent, which I tried layering with the fragrance, hoping that it would extend the longevity of the fragrance. But I really felt like it didn't make a difference at all. So I sort of put the body lotion somewhere and I don't use it because I don't think it really improves the performance. So as you know, I've mentioned this fragrance many times. I really enjoy it. It's a simple, girly, sort of slightly juvenile fragrance, but I don't care. I really, really enjoy it. Unfortunately, the performance is not the greatest. Next one is also a stunning, stunning fragrance that I really, really love, but that really doesn't last all that well. This is Pivoine Suzhou, or something similar to that, from Armani Prive. And again, it's a fragrance that I didn't expect to be a beast. These type of fragrances don't typically, you know, project a ton or last a very long time, but you know, it's Armani Prive, and I was kind of expecting the longevity to be better than what it is. This fragrance is of course about peony. There's also rose, musk, raspberry, so it's kind of a sweet, slightly musky, kind of sparkly champagne type of peony. Again, I love this type of scent in the spring and summer. Peony and rose are my absolute favorite floral notes, and so I always enjoy fragrances that have these two notes. Unfortunately, what very often happens is that fragrances featuring these two notes together have very problematic performance, and this one is unfortunately no exception. Lasting power is really not great here. And the last one on my list is my biggest disappointment from fragrances from my collection, and I think some of you might have guessed which one I'm gonna mention here. It's a fragrance that many complain about because of its performance. It is, of course, the beautiful Constance, Changing Constance from Penhaligon's. I mean, this is truly my biggest disappointment because the scent itself is so stunning. The scent is right up my alley. We have caramel, we have salt, we have tobacco, and it is just such a warm and cozy and even seductive kind of gourmand fragrance. It is beautiful. It is salty and sweet and slightly smoky. Stunning scent. The performance is terrible. I mean, terrible. The lasting power is terrible. Out of everything that I mentioned here, even those sort of lighter summery scents, this one has the worst performance. Definitely the worst. I mean, I'm lucky to get a couple of hours out of this. Very often it is less than that. So disappointing. I wish Penhaligon could do something with this fragrance because it's an outstanding scent that simply does not last. And I know that it's not just me. I've heard many others complaining about the longevity of this fragrance. So I still love it. I still try to use it, but you know, I can't use it as much as I would like because of the performance issue. So Changing Constance from Penhaligon's completes this list. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and definitely let me know if you have fragrances in your collection that you love but that really don't perform. Thank you for watching. I will see you soon in my next video. Bye.